Hey guys, this is Richard. I'm trying out a new app called Bubble today. Bubble's basically a no-code web app builder, which allows you to build functional web applications without any code. I checked them out a few years ago, and it's been a while since I picked it up again. So I'm really curious to see what they're doing these days. I remember back when I was playing with it before that they seem to have a lot of functionality going on. And a friend recommended it to me, so I decided to check it out again today. So today I'm going to show you a quick, actually I don't know how quick this is going to be. I'm going to go ahead and go through the sign up process and see what the new user onboarding experience looks like. So let's go ahead and get started. Click on sign up over here, and we will log in. See if we can do this with Google. Use my Arlo Reviews account. Okay, so I guess as we're waiting, you see this is built on Bubble. So I imagine everything that we're experiencing right now is built through the Bubble kind of program, which is pretty cool. So today's project, I'm basically trying to, for my web design business design stack, I'm trying to build a kind of like a custom checkout flow for our clients. So when a client comes in, I want them to be able to register an account because for a lot of our clients, a lot of times they'll come back to us with different projects. And one thing that we don't have currently by just like filling out forms and charging them with invoices is the idea of like customer, um, a customer ID in our system. So what I'm hoping for by using Bubble, I can actually create a login kind of system, like a registration where the customer can come into our application, create an account. That account will have its own unique customer ID. And so any new project or service that that client orders, then that will be attached to that customer ID. It'll just keep a lot of things, it'll just keep everything a lot cleaner on our back end, and hoping that we can probably build something like this in Bubble. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this onboarding flow and see what it's all about. Welcome to Bubble. Bubble's database is powerful. It can handle fields of different types, including addresses. We're going to build an app for displaying a set of locations on a map. Users can enter addresses. They'll be saved in the database and displayed on the map in real time. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Building input, we're going to start by drawing an input and a button to let users submit new locations. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to do this. It's kind of like an interactive get started process. Draw an input. So let's find an input first. Input here. Okay, drag. And a button. So let's get a button out here as well. Okay. Maybe I wanted to center it, but we'll just redline it. Okay, we're going to start by drawing an input and a button to let users submit new locations. Okay. So next, building the input form. Click on search box in the element palette. It will let our users type an address. Search box. Okay. I suppose it's going to walk me through step by step exactly. Okay. Now click on autocomplete dropdown and draw it on the page. What? Okay, I'm kind of confused now. So let's go back to this. Move my head over here. I can't go back. All right, guys, this is not that great. Now let's change the input placeholder. I don't know where that autofill drop down we're going to make a change. It's not selected right now, so we need to select it. Okay, I'm just gonna delete this, and then click on this. Now let's change the inputs placeholder to type an address. Okay, let's type an address. Wrong value. What? And let's make this element autocomplete. Addresses. Okay. This is like kind of cool, but then kind of breaks as well. Building the form. Congratulations, you created your first element. Feel free to drag it around or resize it. Click continue when you are ready to move on. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, now I'm kind of wanted to make it default again because I don't really know what size to make it, but that looks reasonable. All right, continue. Now we're going to draw a button for the user to save location. To do this, click on the button in the element palette. Okay, done. Great, now draw the button on the page next to the input. I don't even know if they clearly indicated that you're supposed to drag and drop, but okay. Let's change the caption of the button to save. Okay, let's do that. This thing is really annoying. It keeps popping up on top of me. Well done. We now have an address input form. In the next step, we're going to see how to bring this form to life. Okay, let's continue. Creating new locations. Let's build a workflow for when the user clicks the Save button. Click on Start Edit Workflow in the Property Editor. Okay, you've created your first event. Events take place when things happen in your app. For instance, when a user clicks the button. Now we're going to create an action for this event. Okay, let's click Continue. When button is save is clicked. Okay. Let me put myself up here. Now hover. Move this over here. Now hover over the data section and pick create a new thing. This is what we want. This is what we need to save the user's input. Create a new thing. Cool. The type of thing we want to create is a location. Okay. Location. Now when the user clicks the button, we create and save a new location. The next step is to store the address. When that's clicked, create a location. Set another field. Click on here. Click create a new field. Then enter address. So I suppose a location has an address field. And then field type is geographic address. Okay, let's do that. We want to set the location's address to what the user typed in the input. Pick the input address as value. Value, well done. Okay, so we create a new location with the user's address that he inputted. Okay. Now let's add an action to reset the input after the user hits submit. Okay. Element actions, reset inputs. We're now done with the submit workflow. It says when the user clicks the submit button, create a new location, set the location's address to whatever was in the input, and then clear the input. Good work. Okay. The last thing we are going to do is to build a map that displays the saved locations. Click design to return to the design tab. Okay, back here. Let's click on the maps. All right. So just curious, what was this called again? Type an address. Input address. How was that named? Let's see what these are named by default. Input A. Say we do type a name, input name. Okay, so it'll just be named by whatever that is. I suppose we can, what is this called? Type an address. So that's a bit confusing. I wonder how that was renamed address versus this one still has the input type an address in here. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that, but just that's what came to mind when I was selecting it. Let's delete this. Okay, now click on the Google map to draw it on the page. Map. All right. Okay, let's do allow. Now click on Google Map to draw it on the page. Is that not correct? Good, we want the map to display all locations. This like onboarding is kind of buggy. I put it in, but then it didn't recognize that this was, I guess I'm supposed to click, but then if I just click on things, then nothing actually happens. Oh, is that how you just put things in? That's super confusing. So I click on an input and then I click on the screen. Okay, weird. So, but then you can also do this drag and drop kind of mechanism. Okay. This is honestly kind of frustrating. Oh my God. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to select these two things because I want them to be higher. So I just did shift select. Let's move this guy and make him in line with this input field. And then bring this map over here. Double click on map A to open it in the property editor. Okay, let's double click on that. As you can see, I am in Lisbon, Portugal right now. Displaying the locations on a map. We want the map to display all locations, so let's pick list. Okay. We want the map to display, okay, so let's pick location for the type of markers. Okay, we can now display a list of locations in this map. Now let's search for all user submitted locations. We need to say which locations will display. Pick do a search for. Okay. Location. Map style. Apple map style. Okay. Press preview to see my live app. Cool. Well, let's try this. Let me get an address to play with. What's my favorite pizza establishment these days? I think Domino's would be great right now, even though probably can't get it. Okay, let's grab this one. And let's copy the address, dump it in here, see if it'll save. Cool. There you go. There's my Domino's. And then if I want to do, I don't know, is it actually, let's find another pizza joint. Luso, sounds great. Grab this. dump it in here as well. Cool. Well, that was pretty easy. Just to review, what did we actually just do? So I'm gonna close this. Great. All right. Go away. I want this thing to go away too. I have no idea. I'm just gonna hide him there. Okay, so I created an input field. I created a save button and I created a map. This is all in the UI. Okay, that makes sense. In the address, in the input field, you have different types, I suppose. Type in address, geographic place. Okay. The save button is just a button. That's all it is. And then when someone does something, I guess it was in workflows, when someone clicks on the save button, then I do these things. I create a new location, and a location has an address. I reset the inputs, so just make them go back to nothing. And then I display the markers on a map. Okay, so what I am curious about is these things are being saved somewhere. And I think that said data. Yeah, it says data. So now I have app data, privacy options file manager. I just want to know where that data is being saved. Is that so hard? Actually, I guess we could test this. So if I refresh this page, does it go away? No, it's still there. Okay, so I'm not quite sure where it's being saved. Create new location. Yeah, that's fine, but where? Okay, well, we did the tutorial. I think I'm going to have to study up a little bit more on how this works. I think as a user onboarding flow, it was okay. It was almost there, but there were still some kind of like bugs with the way I experienced it as a user. So like right now, I don't feel, I mean, what we were able to accomplish was pretty cool. The fact that I can put in an address and map pins will show up on a map is like super sweet. But I'm not very confident about how it works. So that would be my one concern. But I mean, I think overall, Bubble does seem to be really powerful, so it is interesting in that regard. So let's try it out. I think I'm going to end this video and then just keep the scope of this to the user onboarding in general, and then I can probably start playing with my own stuff afterwards. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next time.